Well, this is a great time of year if you want to plant some trees and shrubs. And joining us today to tell us more about why and the things you need to do, we've got OSU Extension Master Gardener Gretchen Staley with us today. And thanks for coming.
Sure, thanks for having me.
All right, so it's obviously cooling down and we're feeling like fall, but why is this the best time of year to plant shrubs or a tree?
It's a wonderful time, and we do mentally kind of all check out of our gardens on Labor Day, and our plant perennials and annuals are starting to look tired. But our trees and shrubs are actually focusing on putting their energy down into their roots now instead of putting on new growth. And actually that's a great time to get them established, so when they're not putting all their energy into flowering or fruiting or, you know, so it kind of works out good that way. And while normally I try to cut back on like moving, transplanting, planting new perennials around Labor Day because they're more shallow rooted and more apt to freeze. The soil temperature, especially a little deeper on larger root balls, stays pretty temperate for quite a while till we get a good ground level freeze, foot deep, you know. That, so that makes it a great time. There still gives trees and shrubs that are being planted up until the ground is frozen a chance to kind of get settled in. And they can, like I said, tolerate that a little bit better.
So like, if I was gonna plant this shrub that you brought, I need to make my hole at least this deep or deeper?
No, so yes, that deep as it's planted in the pot, which actually in this pot, the soil is an inch or two lower. So you always wanna plant at the depth that a plant is rooted, but you want to dig wider, not deeper.
Wider, okay.
And that loosens the soil, gives the roots an easier time to spread out into the soil when you plant. With trees, you really want to kind of plant maybe an inch higher than it looks or so, or really kind of disturb the soil around the top of the tree and make sure that the root flare that you can see, trees' bases should look like this. They shouldn't look like telephone poles. Sometimes as trees get changed in different containers, they get a little bit buried, like as they get put in a bigger pot. So sometimes that root flare's hidden. So you really want to make sure with trees. And arborists will tell you that more trees die from being planted too deep than too shallow. So you want to give them that little bit of extra room.
And we haven't had much rain at all around here, so you've got to make sure you're going to water these new trees and shrubs, right?
Right. So it's really hard when we all start getting home from work and it's dark out to really pay attention that things we still need to water. With trees and shrubs, the thing you want to think about is giving them a good, deep, like a drip irrigation over a long period of time, deep water, but only once or maybe twice a week if we haven't had rain, so that they can get a good soak but have a chance to drain out. Often we get out with our hose, we get bored and tired. We give them a little, we wet the mulch on top, but we're not actually soaking that root ball. And there's a lot of root mass in these containers. You know, there's a lot of roots that need water, so you really want to pay attention.
All right, and we ran out of time, but you touched on it. Make sure you have a big area and mulch around it. No grass mulch.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
All right, don't go away. Noon Edition continues in a moment.